All right, shout out to the mighty Who Dat Nation. We up in this thing. Welcome, welcome, welcome. You're now rocking with the Sports Coma with Big Q and the guys, where we have intense, entertaining, educating, and enlightening sport talk from your favorite sports fam. I know y'all probably heard. If you haven't heard, the New Orleans Saints, after firing Dennis Allen yesterday, are about the business of change. A lot of stuff is shaking and moving around at Saints camp. We're going to cover it tonight on Patreon, being it's Patreon Tuesday. But for this quick flash report, the Commanders, it's the Saints trade Marshon Lattimore, Pro Bowl cornerback Marshon Lattimore, to the Washington Commanders. So this was announced not too long ago. The trade involves the Commanders trading a 2025 pick in the third and one in the fourth, and gave the Saints a 2025 sixth-round pick they acquired in the process. The previous trade, that is, for summer defensive tackle John Ridgeway III. So the Saints basically get that back. In addition to Lattimore, Washington received a 2025 fifth-round pick. So let's say that again. The Saints trade them to the Commanders. So Jaden Daniels and the Washington Rescue team is really turned around, man. Congratulations, Jaden Daniels, an LSU guy. I'm LSU. So it's good to see somebody doing good from the purple and gold. But the Commanders then acquired. They traded the 2025 third round and fourth round picks, also giving the Saints that 2025 sixth round pick that they sent to get John Ridgeway III, the big defensive tackle. That's what the Saints get. So it's three picks, and they give up the 2025 fifth round pick. So the Saints get a third, a fourth, and the sixth that they sent, and they gave a fifth round pick to give up Lattimore. So, that helps out what's going on with the Washington Commanders in the secondary room. So Lattimore, man, we knew that would be an issue. He'd been the subject of trade speculation for almost a year after he worked with the Saints to restructure his contract for maximum flexibility this December. He has 2 years remaining on his contract that calls for a cap hits of $18 million in 25 and $18 million in 2026, but there is no more guaranteed money on his current deal. He'll count just over $605,000 for Washington for the rest of the year. So according to the roster management system, the Commanders have the second most cap space in 2025, but they have only 30 players under contract for next season, including Laddie Daddy. Lattimore, who skipped voluntary workouts in the spring, said during minicamp that he never requested a trade, but admitted that he and former Saints Dennis Allen had, quote, personal situation, end quote, they had to work through. The trade speculation seemed to wane after Lattimore showed up at minicamp, and Lattimore said he was committed to the Saints and started 7 games this season. The Saints, of course, we know they fired Dennis Allen on Monday morning after their 7th straight loss and named special teams coordinator Darren Rizzi as the interim coach. So there you go with the information with Lattimore being traded. So Dennis Allen fired, and the trade deadline move here, the Saints get picks headed into the draft. They give up Lattimore. Now, quick breakdown on this thought, fam. The reality is we knew eventually the Saints would get from up under Lattimore's contract. We knew that it would ultimately happen because, to be honest with you, they're looking at some cap situation, and that probably is the more attractive of trades for teams looking. With Lattimore's age and his record and what's going on. So, this is one of the things. And of course, the plan has to change too as well. If you fire your head coach, the leadership of what his plan was to bring the team to success is now thrown out the window. Now they have to adjust on the fly to see if they can turn the team around with interim coach Rizzi and see if they can win as many games as possible. Or, and these picks kind of stack piles the draft going into 2025. But this also is kind of a sour moment because we lose Lattimore. Lattimore is one of my favorite New Orleans Saints players. Laddie Daddy was a guy that stood on business. He stood on the square and represented the Who Dat Nation. He was the one in the locker room that got into it with Dennis Allen about the losing and all of the funk that was going on. He was ostracized. They reworked his contract in an attempt to trade him. And Mickey Loomis was involved in all of that shady crap, letting Dennis Allen tear up the team. So, I've been hearing some stuff on the street, man. We're going to talk about it on the stream tonight as we go into all 22 about Loomis, but change is happening at that building. Them people heard what we were saying as a collective, the great Saint Think Tank and the Who That Nation, about being disgusted with what's happening with the Saints and all of this losing. And it took 7 straight losing games before these people understand this guy was wrong. And it also shows horribly on Mickey Loomis for not seeing that he's supposed to be the guy that's running the show. So yeah, this is it's a bittersweet moment because we got love for Laddie. He was 100% real with me. He was always a steady dude for the Who That Nation. We appreciate Laddie for all of his great things that he did over the years, all of the support, the community stuff, and keeping it real, man. Shout out to him. As we look into the draft. Now, as far as the draft is concerned, the Saints got to turn some stuff around here. They're accruing all these picks, but they've been missing on the picks on the draft, not just to give you the game over recent years. So something has to change. Moreover. But anyway, with that being said, let me hear from you. You heard me talk enough. Y'all put in the comment section below and let me know how you feel about the current direction of the Saints. Do you believe the Saints could still make the playoffs? What do you think about the Marshon Lattimore move? Do you like the move to get 3 picks for Laddie? Do you think that was enough? Let me know how you feel about this. And also, please feel free to hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and the share button. And I'm going to holler at y'all tonight on Patreon. Much love, and Who Dat Take.